Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Warframe Wednesdays. I'm your host with the most, as always, Francois878, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the recently announced, soon-to-be-implemented changes to PvP in Warframe, and I'm really excited about this. And I'm kind of also disappointed in a way. Basically, these PvP changes are coming in due to the basically completely negative feedback about the Dark Sector PvP changes that have been implemented, I would say maybe 6 to 8 months ago. Basically, the Dark Sectors are these bonus areas in each of the planets and the star chart that you can go to, and there are these clan battles that you can wage, and it's supposed to be really cool. Unfortunately, the gameplay for the Dark Sector PvP sections is pretty bad. The game mode resembles Rush from Battlefield, where you have one team that has infinite spawns and is defending, and the other team is attacking, and they have a limited number of spawns to get through their defenses, and it just doesn't feel good. Anyone can use any Warframe or any weapon with any mod or any number of formas on it, and it makes the Dark Sector PvP completely unbalanced, and it just a huge pile of crap, honestly, because as cool as some of these Warframes are, there's just some Warframes that are simply incompatible for PvP, period. And that being said, having a PvP system that basically ignores that just hurts that PvP system and makes it just not so great. Now, that being said, the newly announced soon-to-be implemented changes really just have me excited. They're going to take out the entire Dark Sector PvP section as we know it. Not immediately, I don't think, but shortly after the update 16, which is when these PvP changes will be released. They are planning on taking out the entire Dark Sector PvP area, which is a shame because it's a fairly recent update. It's not even a year old yet, but it just kind of crashed and burned with the community because I don't think it was implemented well, and I don't think it was completely unbalanced. And that's what people really want. I think the new system kind of sacrifices the customizable options, and it's kind of sacrifices the having a crazy amount of options for a much heavier amount of balance and fairness in the PvP, which I think is really what people want. And I think that's what people are gonna get. But these new changes, basically, it's going to be a smaller map, a much smaller map compared to the Solar Rail. It's going to be 2 teams of 4. Now, your 2 teams of 4 get to pick between a limited number of Warframes. Those will be mostly the starter Warframes. I'm not sure exactly which ones. I believe for sure it's Volt, Mag, and Excalibur. And I feel like Loki and Ember might be on that list too. I feel like if you have 4 people, you would need at least 4 different Warframes. I mean, I guess you could double up, but what would be the fun in that? So they're going to be a limited number of the very first starter Warframes, because Digital Extremes feels like those are the most well-balanced Warframes, and I tend to agree with them. I feel like those Warframes are definitely the most well-balanced, and definitely the ones that kind of gel together the best as far as, Excalibur being able to blind, and Loki being able to turn invisible, and Mag being able to stun shields. They all have really good PvP skills, that, they kind of check and balance each other really well. And I think it's a good place to start anyways. Maybe later on down the line, in update, 16.5 or 17, they can add more Warframes to that list to increase the variety. But right now, I think balance is the most important thing, and I think that keeping the list of Warframes shorter and more balanced is the most important thing they can do right now. As far as weapons go for the new PvP mode, it's going to be just the MK1 weapons, so the Paris, the Strun, and the Bratton for the primaries, the Kunai and the Ferris pistol for the secondaries, and the bow and the Feryx of fist weapons for the melee. And again, I think they've done this for balancing reasons. Later on down the road, I'm assuming they will be adding in more like PvP exclusive weapons. That's their whole thing with this new PvP, is that they're going to be PvP only cosmetics and PvP only mods and PvP only this, that, and the other that people can use to increase their enjoyment out of the PvP experience. And I think that's a really good idea. I really like that. I'm all for that. I think that using PvE mods in a PvP situation just breaks the game. That being said, I'm in general I'm a really big fan of the new PvP revamp. I myself am not really a big fan of PvP. That's why I don't play games like Call of Duty or Battlefield or this, that, and the other. I can't. I'm just not a fan. But I do think that a functioning, balanced, well-rounded PvP in Warframe would be really good. I think it would break up the monotony of just doing void missions over and over and over again. And I think the map type that they have is very clever. The game mode is called Capture the Cephalon. It's just a play on Capture the Flag, where you have to get you have to grab the Cephalon from the enemy team and bring it to your base. And I as simple as that is, I really like it. I think it's a catchy, very thematic. It's not just team deathmatch. And I think that's a really good thing for Warframe. And I think it's going to make the PvP, a more... It's just going to engross the player more. And I think that's really what we need right now, is to really hook the new players in with multiple different game modes to keep them interested longer. I think MMO fatigue, I've suffered from it. I'm sure most of you have suffered from it. It's a real, it's an issue. And this game, the grind is strong with this one. So, having a balanced PvP that you can go and play every once in a while to break up the monotony is a good thing, and it's going to be a great change for the game. But please leave your comments below and tell me what you think of the new PvP the new proposed PvP changes. But this has been your host of the most, as always, Francois878, signing out from another Warframe Wednesdays, and we will see you next week.